Hi, I'm November Paynter, the Artistic Director of the Museum of Contemporary Art Toronto, and I welcome you here today to join me on a walkthrough of Megan Rooney's exhibition, Hush, Sky, Murmur, Whole. Megan is a Canadian artist. She grew up in Markham. She now currently lives in London. We've been talking about this exhibition for over 3 years. She actually came and saw the building before we'd even moved into these premises as the Museum of Contemporary Art. So she had a long time to think about the space and how she would appropriate it with her artistic practice. About 6 months before the exhibition, she came for a longer site visit when she was visiting her parents. And we started talking about whether she would be interested in painting out the entire space. So Megan is predominantly known as a painter. She comes from a performance background. So we're going to look a little bit at the painting first. As you can see, we're standing in the midst of an entire room that is covered in paint. So she's applied paint and texture to all of the walls of the gallery. None of the walls were rebuilt or adapted for this purpose. So she's treating these walls as a large canvas. She applies layers of household paint, and we actually worked with Farrow and Ball, and they very generously gave us paint for this project. And then what she does is she will sand away with a sandblaster and reveal the layers of paint she's applied previously. And that's why you get such a kind of vibrant and complex resonating pulse from these walls. As you walk around the space, the painting essentially climaxes, or as she put it, closes at this point here. So essentially, it's really like reading an entire painting as you walk around the gallery space. Megan's performance background really feeds into the way she produces these works. She was here for almost a month painting this mural entirely on her own. It was like a dance. You can kind of see how she danced with the columns, with the space. The paint flows, it follows the heads of these columns. She was up and down ladders and on other devices. It was a really laborious process. And, part of that practice is also thinking about capitalism and commercial selling of paintings, and the fact that this painting, you can never acquire it. So it's a real comment on our capitalist world, the capitalist world we live in. We're walking now towards a series of sculptures that are called the Graces. They are made from garden umbrellas. So Megan often appropriates and uses, well, she does a lot, everyday materials, sourced elements from her surroundings, her environment, the garden, the roadside. She painted these actually in London and carried them here, and then hung them in space from ropes that are taken from children's playgrounds. So these sculptures are one of the first hints at kind of a more sinister set of references within this exhibition and within her practice in general. They're called the Graces, but they obviously look very much like bodies hanging from the ceiling. She was due to do a performance piece during the run of this exhibition, and during this performance, these works would have moved and been pushed and allowed to inhabit the space in a more living, dynamic manner. So in the corner here, we see one of the most sinister installations in the exhibition. It's titled Love, We Are Making a Run for It. There's a barricade, again sourced from the street, and a series or two fabric sculptural elements. My daughter just asked me if these were animals in a zoo. That could be the reference. The reference could also be anyone that's imprisoned. But the specific reference that Megan expressed to us was that she was referring to the Mexican-American border, where we know that children have of late been imprisoned and kept from their parents. And in the corner, you'll see another one of the barrel works. And this time she has sunk 2 conch shells into the concrete, but the concrete is dripping into the conches. It's kind of like 2 eyes, a face. What is this face representing? Is it looking after these children? Is it looking out for them? Or is it already compromised? Is it already imprisoned? Obviously, it's an extremely uplifting experience being in this space. For me personally, it just is overwhelming. You feel really involved and excited to be kind of a participant within a painting. It's very unfortunate that people can't see this work right now, given the current closures of museums across the country and the world. And we understand that it's very hard to capture this painting on camera.